Okay. I did check if I'm live. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. So, holy shit. Lots of stuff going on. Actually, I had a thought earlier. So I'm gonna go over something because this is a little crazy. And I think I fully understand why I haven't heard from Rad Mom. This is just going to be my my take on this situation. Because I saw some really disappointing shit today that leads me to believe I shouldn't take this personally. But let me... Rad Mom. So this channel came up in my algorithm randomly, and I popped in to this stream 5 days ago. Now, I didn't see her video that she was reading comments from, but I listened to her for a little bit. I was like, this chick sounds pretty interesting. So
we're not so bad today. It was the Spoken Latin Society. We literally just played board games while chatting in Latin. You'd think we ran the world, but unfortunately not. That's okay. I'm pretty sure, like, Mensa, the group that my parents met at a meeting of, books in my basement. Says CK, like, political theory. Yeah. Okay. So I just woke up to that feminism wasn't a joke a couple years ago, says CTKD. And I don't really get it. Looking for moms to talk a bit about it. Would you be interested in a discussion? Heck yeah. That sounds right up my alley.
So I did let her know that I just woke up to that feminism wasn't just a fucking joke a couple years ago. And I still don't get it. And would she be up for a discussion? So she said, heck yeah. I'm going to continue playing this because I want to double check to make sure I got the email address right. Because I did email her that day.
I have like a whole library of nonfiction books in my basement. Nice. That you've actually read, though. We're about to get another ad, but they're not so bad today. I hit the conservative button again, so they're not so bad today. It was the Spoken Latin Society. We literally just played board games while chatting in Latin. You'd think we ran the world, but unfortunately not. That's okay. I'm pretty sure, like, Mensa, the group that my parents met at a meeting of, started life as a secret society in the UK. I'm pretty sure. Mensa is Latin for table, I believe.
UK
because they were going to assemble all of the most intelligent people in the world around one table and solve all the world's problems. Needless to say, that's not how that went at all. My understanding is that yes, CTKD, you have come to the right place. Yes. Thank you, Kitty Cat.
Kitty Cat said I've come to the right place.
Yeah, no. I try to do material world-centric feminism, which does involve, I have 4 kids. I gave birth to 2 of them. So, I'm a mom and a stepmom. And I try to discuss, a lot of the stuff that comes along from that. From a feminist perspective, because goodness knows, I think women in my position need feminism possibly the most. I don't know. But boy, howdy, is there not a lot of resources for that. Feminism has almost nothing to offer you if you want kids. It's ridiculous.
Right. feminists hate children.
Oh yeah, I hear
ones
the
come
Freemasons
across.
is similar. Like they just go hiking together or something, which sounds cute to be honest. Yeah. And I was saying this a couple of days ago, how like in the 18th century, the Hellfire Club and like all those great, amazing secret societies that you'll hear about, you know, from occultists and how amazing they were and like all these crazy stories. And like they basically just got together and drank a whole lot of alcohol and tried to summon demons and whatever. Like, sounds fun. Sounds like a party. Sounds like a Halloween party I've been to. But like, come on. That's only edgy and worth hiding if it's the 18th century. Right? Like that's, like I say, it sounds like Halloween parties I've been to. There's a club for average people called Densa. I did not join Mensa. I'm not like somebody being a Mensa really does not impress me, but makes me go, oh, okay. So a liberal sex pest with an engineering degree. Gotcha. Okay. Like that's literally my I did not want to become one. They love, you know, they're the sort of people who will ask you an impossible riddle and then smirk at you while you try and solve it. You know, it's ridiculous. They did not fill me with the urge to join their group growing up. Yes, I read them all, says Kitty Cat. Hence why I annoyingly recommended books to you. No, I love it. I just never have them. I don't know when I'm going to have time to read anything. Because she'll talk about a specific issue, which I have the perfect book for that. Girls, and yeah. The feminists I've come across hate kids, which everyone started life as a child. Hating kids is a form of misanthropy. Just hating people. You hate an entire subcategory of human beings. That's not even a race. That's something you used to be. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you. Yeah, I took the Mensa pre-test, could barely understand the instructions. Derp. Tom. Mensa means dumb female in Spanish. Does it? That's funny. I mean, what she said about the secret society is interesting. Hold on, she's gonna give me her email address here pretty soon.
Now, if you don't enjoy the company of children, fine, fair enough. Don't have any. Don't associate with them. I just pretty much said I don't enjoy the company of Mensons, and I tend not to associate with them. Like, that's fair enough, I guess. That's your business. But yeah, I don't understand people say they hate kids. Like, everyone started life with a kid, including you. But you hate yourself? I don't understand. I think for men, reading female authors has that right from a female perspective puts you in a place where you can better imagine what it's like. It's not just empathy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you read Caliban and the Witch yet? No. I know. Oh, my God. Like, it's breaking my heart because I'm going to have to crack it. I don't make that into any kind of a movement. Again. Thank you so much.
So Kitty Cat says, I have a kid and I'm about as radical feminist as you can get. Hating kids is not a feminist thing. It's an individual personal preference thing. Yeah, I'm just begging. I understand people are busy with life and it's hard to find time to read huge texts of political theory.
Yeah. Every little bit counts. Thank you so much. I'm
Can I email you for a chat? I have a small channel where I've been trying to host discussions with moms. All right, Brazen She.
His email. Yeah. That's my blog too, if you've ever run across that. That's me. The Brazen She blog. That's me. Okay, I read romance novels.
Well, it looks like the same one I emailed. Let's just double check here. brainshe@gmail.com. Yep. Thanks for the email. Looking forward to the chat. It was 5 days ago. So, hello, Rusty. How are you? Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get it, Johnny. Well, after this, I kind of checked out her channel just to kind of see what it was about. She has some videos. Let's see, that stream was because she did this video. Miss Sindri isn't feminism, and I guess she got a bunch of
This into a long form.
Comments on here. Yeah, 103. Yeah, I love all these guys coming in my comments to let me know that I do, in fact, hate them. Y'all are part of the problem, and feminism is not for you, fellas. So she had quite a few comments. And I know she was kind of reading them off, but you know what I found that I was particularly interested in? Going back to her old stuff, when she first started her channel, why does she kind of look like Universal Mother here? Is it just me, Johnny? Does she kind of look like the Thundercat in this little thumbnail? Little bit. Looks a little bit like Thundercat. Hello, Jer. Good to see you. Kinda, right? Something about the eyes. I don't know. But check this out. Okay, there's reproductive rights protests in Tennessee, protests, a bunch of feminist bullshit. But I saw something from, wait. Man, is it? She was wearing glasses and she had red hair. Maybe it was a video. Hold up. Yes. So 3 years ago. Talking about trans shit. Femininity. I gotta find it because she said something in the beginning that I was like, see, what the fuck? We should be having a discussion about this shit. Because she knows what I know. Yeah, what the fuck is feminism anyway? Check this out. Your chapter. See, she knows something I know.
Hey everybody, Rad Mom here. Just a little quick impromptu thing I'm doing. This will probably be the first take, but just in case I'm talking to you, subscribe to the channel for more material approach to radical feminism, and like this video if you enjoy, this kind of analysis. I just had to do this. This made me so angry. Let's go see, okay? I'll tell you all about it when we get there. Okay, here we have Erin, what's her name? Vigland, interviewing Kyla Schuller, who has written a book about white feminism, which is always a term that catches my attention because I am a white feminist.
Right.
But I guess it's like having a boy who's your friend who isn't your boyfriend, because, well, they define white feminism here in a minute. And a lot of, I think, what they talk about is what we would call liberal feminism. But they also contrast it with intersectional feminism, which definitely goes against my experience, because in my experience, the racist bitches are usually the ones who are the most worried about the poor, beleaguered minorities, right?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying on my stream about that psychology fucking diversity. student. The psychology diversity hire. By the way, she left me a comment on her video. I guess that crazy bitch is not done lying yet. So I gave her a wrench. So if she would ever like to take part in the discussions here, she's welcome. I also gave this rad mom a wrench. Like, I wrenched up their actual channels. So I have a history of my crazy bitch baggage that follows me around the internet, impersonating other people and coming in my chats to start problems. So having a wrench really doesn't mean anything super special. It just allows me to keep track of like who the real people are and if what they're saying is literally coming from them. So, but did you hear that? The racist bitches are the ones that fucking feel sorry for minority groups. Because those are the same ones that I've seen. The exact same ones. So, I was actually really looking forward to this conversation, but I honestly, after what I saw today, I don't think it'll ever happen. And let me point out exactly why. Because, let's see, she streamed today. And I've listened to quite a few of her streams just to try to kind of get an idea of where she's coming from. Because I feel like we have a lot in common. I mean, she's a year younger than me. So, what I gather so far, she's 40. She is married with 2 sons. She has 2 older stepdaughters that don't want anything to do with her. So she doesn't have anything good to say about their mom. She also talks a lot about parenting and the joys of parenting and how it's an opportunity to, you know, do it differently than your parents did. So I liked that. Hello, Contriver. Good to see you. But I noticed something here. Now, I probably won't be listening to any more of her lives, only because it just gets on my fucking nerves. Like, ads are one thing. That's why I pay YouTube Premium, so I don't have to fucking listen to them. But the second worst thing, besides ads, is listening to somebody mention every time an ad is coming and complaining about it. And it's every 3 to 5 minutes. So that's a bit annoying. But this stream here was really interesting. Oh, she must have mentioned climate change. YouTube's added some shit to her. So there was a part where her husband, what looked like was her husband, came out after her son. That was super interesting. I mean, she complained multiple times about her husband not following through with what he's saying he's gonna do. But you know what? I don't think she has any fucking room to talk about that. Because she told her son 30 minutes and then proceeded to spend another hour and a half online. So, rad mom. You know that part where you mentioned you life goals, once your kids are adults, you would like it if they still wanted you to be a part of their lives? Yeah, doing shit like that is not going to achieve that goal. Where in the fuck is it? Was she wearing a hat? And this from today, right? 8 hours ago. Maybe it wasn't another hour and a half. Oh. Yeah, here they are. Maybe it was just another hour after she said 30 minutes.
Oh. But it's not helpful, right? It's not helpful. It's archaeology. I'm feeling nauseous. Ooh, fun. That'll be nice to see. Great. And I always wanted to let that shine through, you know. Their hand. On the bright side, because I was sick yesterday, I let myself properly sit down and watch a movie for the first time in ages, and it was awesome. Ooh, which one was it? What is it, little man? Maybe you're shaking the table. What is it?
Yep.
Oxygen. What's the name of the movie? Yeah, Belle, how did you find my channel in the first place? That's a good question. Kayla's got a good idea.
Ow. Honey, I am right inside. I am in the kitchen for you. Come on.
Half an hour, boo-boo.
You need something?
Kind of a sci-fi thriller. I think it was your vid on Wii Spa that caught my attention at first. And see, that was one.
Half an hour, boo-boo. An hour later, she's still talking to random people that are showing up in her chat. So that husband of hers, though, something he said about him being in the kitchen. I just wonder. I wonder what this feminist mother. I mean, she's trying to get her channel going. She keeps saying how her situation is so volatile, and she complained at least 3 different times while I was listening to her today, complain about her husband not following through on shit. So, rad mom. I'm not going to feel bad that you haven't responded, because you don't even follow through with your kids, obviously. So, I'm just curious when in the fuck she got indoctrinated. I mean, she said both her parents were in Mensa. And she did say Mensa was a British secret society or something. Yeah, Johnny Midnight. Climate change, like the coven down the street from you. Yeah, she keeps complaining about money, yet she keeps taking bong rips on her live. Like, if you literally have money to waste on weed, how are you complaining about money? Exactly. I don't get that at all. So, I don't know. I don't think I want to talk to this mom anymore, though. Honestly, I've spent so many fucking hours listening to her content that I'm like, I think this video she put out, yeah, I kind of skipped through it. But I don't remember at one point, like, I actually had a reflex to some shit she was saying, only because it's like she uses all the fucking words, all these spell words that all this literature had come up with, all these fucking radical feminists. Oh, and I heard her bring up Kelly J. Keene. Yeah, That crazy bitch feminist from the UK. Yeah, I wonder how long she's been out worshiping that crazy bitch. You know, that crazy bitch has 4 children. And if it wasn't for her husband being the mommy, she wouldn't be all over the fucking place doing her activism. So, well, she has two sons. So you saw the 7-year-old come out wanting her attention. So, well, her husband was complaining about being in the fucking kitchen, which I don't blame him, honestly. Because you know what? Only because I've seen this a lot of times, the past 15 years. I've seen how feminist ideology destroys relationships. Something else I want to share, going back to the moms. They're going back to these racist bitches.
Selling author that I interviewed or that we interviewed.
This stream also came up in my chat or in my algorithms. And I sat and listened to this Reverend Dr. Sherry Palace, she, her. Reverend Dr. Sherry, she, her. And you know what? She had one. I got a little bit through it. I couldn't stomach the fucking rest.
What love is that?
I just can't listen to 2 people fucking jerk each other off online like this. Like, they're not even having a conversation. They're like, I don't know how to explain it, but the she, her thing, and then the she, they thing. Dr. Jamie Marek or whatever. You know what's crazy? These fucking psychos were literally talking about cults, religious cults. Religious cults with their she, her, and she, they pronouns in their fucking bio. Right? She's a reverend and a doctor, apparently. What anime is that from? You know, funny story. Cam's been getting his girlfriend through Naruto. It's interesting watching some stuff for like the second time around. Yeah, Shikamaru and his shadow possession jutsu. That is helpful, I think. Hello, Nella Wolf. Good to see you. Oh, Bleach. Yeah, I've never seen that one. Cam really likes that one, though. I remember him watching that one years ago. But yeah, going back to these racist, crazy bitches. These. JR, you switched your avatar back. You know what's funny? I got on my phone and found your channel, and then I got to click on it and blow it up. I mean, it was funny. It was definitely funny. But yeah, these crazy bitches here. absolutely nuts. And they talk all the psychology terminology and narcissism this and blah, 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 that. These crazy bitches are major cult members. I'm sure they also pray at the altar of the international, or what is it, Women's Declaration International. Speaking of those, I have something to share. Because just like in England, the UK, or whatever, Australia.
There are no laws.
So just so you know, these crazy bitches are literally complaining about men using the laws that women created against them. So this is good news. Nella Wolf, why don't you have a wrench? Wait, is that really you, Nella Wolf? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay. Does anybody know? How do you say it? A Chigo? Is that how you say that? But listen to this. These Australian crazy bitches that work in the legal system complaining big time about men using the laws women created against them.
Who's made submissions in the recent case of Tickle versus Giggle, which is a real Australian case. Sex is not a biological concept. It's not binary, and a person's sex can be changed. So in other words, here in Australia, women can be men can be women, and so much more in between. I appreciate this is not unique to Australia. The whole world, of course, is suffering with this nonsense. But what you might not know is the extent to which Australia has led the way in undermining women's sex-based rights. Many people know that New South Wales, Australia, was the first jurisdiction in the world, for instance, to decriminalise prostitution. But fewer people know that we've also been a trailblazer in securing transgender rights, although largely by stealth. So even those of us in Australia weren't aware of a lot of what was happening. But I won't get into all that history now. I'm just going to focus on some of the most recent legal cases that have taken our attention over recent years. Because I'm a lawyer, I have to start with a disclaimer, which is just saying that we've been involved in a lot of the cases I'm talking about, but I'm out of consideration for client confidentiality and in some cases court orders. I am only just sharing details which are really on the public record already. So the next slide talks about DAVO. DAVO, I hope everyone's familiar with that term because we do a lot of work or have done in the area of domestic violence. That comes up a lot, that acronym of deny, attack, reverse, victim and offender. And I'm interested in this because I've been seeing this for years, of course, in the field of domestic violence, that the legal system facilitates this behaviour by allowing men to weaponise domestic violence legislation that was originally put in place to protect women. But now we're seeing it in other areas. For instance, sex discrimination laws are now becoming a weapon that is used against women. And so I want to discuss some of those cases. So the next slide talks about the fact that we've got a large variety of cases. It's not just discrimination cases. our work in defending women's sex-based rights, and we're the only community legal service that I'm aware of in all of Australia that will take on this work. And we're being contacted about cases across many areas of legal practice and from every Australian jurisdiction. So we've got different laws in each state in Australia. And it's extremely demanding for a tiny unfunded service like ourselves that's just entirely run by a volunteer effort. So the threat to women's spaces, services and opportunities is one thing, but we've also got children's safety and wellbeing, jobs, careers, leisure activities, our reputations, and all of these things are under attack. So there's a lot happening. So the next slide is about discrimination cases, of which there's been quite a few significant ones. The first one that I'm just going to talk about was actually in our very first year of operation in 2017. We were approached by a newsreader, Beth Rep, she's the first photo there, who had received a complaint against her for vilification on the ground of gender identity by the gentleman with his finger up in the black T-shirt next to her in that photo. His name is Bridget Clinch. He was ex-military and a trans activist, and he brought a complaint about some of her social media posts, 46 of them, in fact, and it was a massive case to have to deal with just because of the pure quantity of material. And it went on for like 4 years, and it was grueling in the tribunal that proceeded at a glacial pace. And in the end, they found that 9 of the social media posts, I mean, this was already on an appeal from the original tribunal decision. They found only 9 of the posts were considered vilification, and only 2 of those were by Beth Rep herself. Despite that, they managed to decide that Beth should have to pay him 10,000. No, originally it was 10,000, but then on the appeal, they reduced it to $5,000 in compensation, which was just, I mean.
So I'm going to share this because I think it's very useful. Hello, Hemi. Yeah, the Ministry of Altering Men's Behavior. Well, do you know what that ministry is called? The fucking psychology field. That's what it's called here in the US. That's what it's called. Hello, Billy. Yeah, it is. Oh, so is the UK. Me and Billy were chatting earlier. You know, it's funny. After we had our conversation, I was on Instagram. And I was trying to figure out exactly why it is that I don't know. I think it's just kind of in our DNA here in the US. Like there's a lot of things that go on in the UK that just don't go on here. And the King Trout, I'm going to share his clip because I saw this afterwards. He uploaded this last night. He just pretty much sums it up.
American who's privy to international news. I have seen a lot of videos coming out of the UK, England in particular, of people being arrested after having voiced their opinions online that were found offensive. And this is in violation of English law. And it's with a deep sadness in my heart that I hear this. Ha! Just kidding. Now you understand why you rebelled against your bullshit fucking government. And then, like, right after we wrote our constitution. We were like, oh, wait, 10 really important things, though. 10 really important things. Number 1, you can say whatever the fuck you want and you won't be arrested for it. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter if it hurts people's feelings. Number 2, you can have guns. Well, at least our schools aren't bloody shooting ranges. Okay, get arrested for your Facebook post. I bet you wish you had a gun. Really helpful when it comes to tyrannical governments. Enjoy your beans on toast or whatever.
Tyrannical governments. Yeah. Yeah. Spain has a very cruel kangaroo court system. So far, this Ichigo guy hasn't said anything bad about Hammerhand. That's kind of one of those things, like, I can tell somebody's crazy bitch infected. They puppet Miss Elite when they talk about Hammerhand. They puppet her. Yeah, Nella Wolf. Talk to Martinez about feminist courts in Spain. Total nightmare. Yeah, I don't. So I was kind of thinking about, how I always say that, like, America's the main thing we export is like feminism. And I know our social media and our mainstream media has been giving the world kind of an idea of like how things appear here. And I feel like it's a little, it's not actually correct. So, I mean, yeah, we have fucked up Kamala Harris. We have diversity, inclusion, equity agendas. We have feminists that absolutely are racist and sexist. But I feel like it's not as bad here. And I'm wondering if it's because, I mean, it has to be because of the gun situation, for one. But for two, I think there's just too many working people here. Like, yeah, academia kind of has a hold on stuff, especially in corporations, people that have degrees, all the things, but it's just not as bad here. Well, that's not true. There's some most of the cities it's pretty bad. How did this happen so fast? Spain was fascist until 1975. I don't really know. I do know that if shit just gets too bad here, Texas will secede and it'll become its own country. And we'll still be like the 9th largest economically worldwide. So that's all I know. Yeah, but Jaime, you're in Canada, right? I don't really know how enjoyable it is. I think watching the things is making me sick. Like, I literally had a gag reaction to Rad Mom's video earlier when she was talking about patriarchy. Like, I puked in my mouth a little. Yeah, Johnny, you should. I mean, I keep hearing Florida's nice too, but I don't know, something about the the lack of being able to succeed kind of has me. Yeah, it's crazy bitch daycare. It's a petting zoo, Nella Wolf. It's a petting zoo. So you can have fun with this petting zoo. And I'm going to start crocheting the boys some pussy hats. That's what I'm going to do. All right, what else? Actually, Bandit sent me something, and I'm going to share a little bit of it, but then leave the rest in the link in the description for the Rad Mom. Because you know what? It sounds like, I mean, kind of the same deal as Cluster Bee Milkshake. She wants her channel to succeed. Sounds like she's having some lack of strong, independent woman problems. She feels she needs to make her own money or something. She feels like she has something useful to speak to the world about. She's not getting anywhere with her channel. So I'm the wrong person to ask on that personally, because I have tried to keep mine as small as possible for as long as possible. Because I don't want to fucking be here. Unless I can have a conversation with some of these feminists that have channels. But this is not what I want to be doing. Find that video. Bandit Senate, PBD. Who's on value table? Nope. What the fuck? You think Sarah should go on? I don't know if I would. I wouldn't call Sarah Cluster Bee Milkshake a whore, though. Right? That minor kid. Fucking dragon puppet. Shit's funny. Now, Cluster Bee Milkshake is... I mean, she doesn't hide the fact that she's literally a diagnosed crazy bitch. She doesn't hide that. She has a couple mental health diagnoses. But, here we go. I wouldn't really call her a whore. She just doesn't give off the whorish vibe to me. Okay, it is on Valuetainment. How did I miss that? You don't like Cluster Bee Milkshake? What? I mean, you don't really like me either, so I'm not surprised. See, but she wants a channel. She wants to get big, and she's one of the most honest, fucking courageous women that I've ever met online. just for the fact that she was just totally open to have a fucking conversation. Like, we've chatted a lot over the past couple of years behind the scenes, but she's one of sun-kissed before she got all crazy bitch infected. She had the courage to speak to me in public. But if you guys only knew how many women I talk to behind the scenes that are too afraid to associate with me in public, it's sad. It really is. I mean, even with my Facebook posts lately, I keep getting texts. I keep getting messages, private messages, like, oh, I really love that, but I don't want to publicly like it. Like, people are fucking cowards. Absolutely. Oh, having lived with an undiagnosed narc 16 years, she triggers the fuck out of me. Okay, that makes more sense. How do you know she's an undiagnosed narc? See, that's some problems I have with the psychology field. Like, I don't know. Even down to the whole narcissistic abuse thing. Like, what the fuck is that? I was actually talking to a friend of mine earlier, and it's funny how the crazy bitches online are so afraid of me, even though I'm literally probably the only one out of my entire tribe in my community that would give these cunts the time of day and actually sit and listen to them and have a conversation and try to really understand where they're coming from. Because my friend cannot stand these crazy bitches. And she just chalks it up to idiots. Like, they're fucking idiots. Okay, I was explaining my my experience with the divorce coach cult, narcissistic divorce coach cult. And like, when I talk about these things, I'm always, because these people know me. And I'll say something and then I'll get their reaction and I'm like, okay, so I said this. And it's weird how a lot of the times they just react the same way I reacted. Like, it's quite comical. But she just says she's an idiot. Like, where do you draw the line between malicious intent and just fucking incompetence? I mean, I don't know. I guess the effects are the same, so maybe it doesn't matter. But if that's true, I would fucking argue that women are far more narcissistically abusive than men are. By far. And if a woman is claiming that the man she's involved with is a narcissist, then I would be looking at her sphere of influence. Who fucking told her that exactly? Because maybe she's right that she's undergoing narcissistic abuse, but it's probably not where she's pointing the finger at. It's probably coming from somewhere else, like a feminist in her life who's actually gaslighting her, who's emotionally fucking terrorizing her. There needs to be something for that. Because if you give, say you have this woman that is like, oh my God, I'm being narcissistically abused by this man, and say she has women in her life that are feminists and are single and miserable and are like, hey, Oh, like a comment that I saw on a live not too long ago. My friend, how did she put it? My friend, I miss my friend because of some boundaries she put up. Pretty much, I'd have to go back and listen, but pretty much, I have a friend that I lost because she's in a relationship with a man and it's his fault and he doesn't love her. It's like, how in the fuck does she know? I mean, what is her idea of love exactly? Like, she's in this relationship now. And because of this relationship, I mean, it's no fucking secret that single women will help women in relationships destroy their fucking family. They'll do that. They'll lie. They'll get involved because misery fucking loves company. So how did that crazy bitch know? How does she know that her old friend's husband or whatever really doesn't love her? Right? When it comes to love, I don't think it's my heart, my head, rather something filled by a 40 ounce of Mickey's. Well, I'm going to play this because Bandit sent it to me, but I think this might be more helpful to Rad Mom because it sounds like she really wants to get her channel going. So I don't really have any advice for her. Except maybe do the opposite of what I've been doing, perhaps. Actually, I had one video that went pretty viral and I fucking hit it once it got to 40,000 views. I was like, oh, nope. Quit it. That's actually the same video that made Contriver come to this channel. So I was happy about that. You know which video that was, Contriver. But let's play this. Let's see what PBD has for advice on people who want to build their channel. Actually, Bullet should watch this too. I'm going to see if PBD says you got to build it on the backs of crazy bitches, though. That'd be funny if you did. 20 rules of podcasting, how to go from 0 subscribers to millions. You know what? His podcast, I was there at the very beginning of his podcast. It was during the lockdown he started it. And now he's over 2 million subscribers. So he obviously knows what the fuck he's talking about. I would listen to PBD on this.
Just 20 years ago, everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur. Today, everybody wants to be a podcaster. They're looking at these numbers. But Rogan got a few $100 million. I want to be rich. I want to be rich podcasting. That's what I'm going to do. But let me give you some numbers here. There's 5 million podcasts worldwide, 150 million total episodes, and around 500 million listeners. So how do you compete? WSJ comes out with this article talking about who's getting all that viewership. You ready? 35% of all the listeners of podcasts go to the top 10 podcasts. That's it. 13% goes to the next 14, 11 to 25. Then another 13% goes to the next 74, number 26 to 100. The next 400 podcasts get 16%. The next 500 gets only 5%. And the next 18% goes to, ready? 4.99 million people. That's who you're competing with. So I want to start a podcast, Pat. You just discouraged me. Well, here's a rule of podcasting. I'm going to give you the first one first, and then we'll go into the next 19 to talk about. Never, ever start a podcast just to make money. Only do it if you feel you have a message, you have fun doing it. That ought to be your number one reason to start a podcast. Money comes way later on, especially knowing you're competing with 5 million other people. So stick around for the next 19 keys to podcasting.
All right, that's all I'm going to play for that. I'll put it in the description, though. Is there anything else I wanted to share? Idealization is a form of smear. The love bombing is a part of the devaluating smear. Yeah, I don't. I'm so over psychology fucking people and psychology terminology. So over it. All these models, all these presupposing XY person has this psychological personality disorder. So I'm going to behave towards them like XYZ, which is pretty fucking confusing for normal people. Say they don't have psychology personality disorder XYZ, and you literally are trying to play games with them like they do. Normal people think that's fucking nuts. So it's way too complicated. That's why I liked Richard's last video about simplifying it. Because I think a lot of people miscommunicate because of said spell words. Or they just don't communicate when they fucking should. So. Well, I think I'm going to end this because I don't really have anything else to share. Looking through here. Yeah, like listen to these crazy bitches, okay? Because I've been listening to crazy bitches all week. It's probably why I'm having some allergic reactions. I've been religious narcissism. I know I shared this clip with you, Billy. Listen to these crazy bitches.
Knew enough to know that I should just keep my distance a little bit.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was with narcissism, because we have to realize this research is very new. This is kind of like, I can remember back in the 80s when I started discovering the recovery movement and alcoholism. And that solved so many answers for me. I mean, the church was invaluable here with the role they were playing. You know, by sponsoring AA meetings, I went to some beautiful.
See? She's talking about how useful AA was. And how helpful the fucking church is. So. But now we have the psychology field fucking infiltrating everything. So it's also ruining the churches. Yes, I know churches have a history of fucking shit up all by themselves. I get that. But, I don't know. Calling people with fucking other issues, all these psychology things, I think is a bit unhelpful. I mean, in the 80s. I still have yet to meet a narcissistically personality disordered individual. I know Cluster B Milkshake has herself quite a few diagnoses, but I don't know. I don't buy a lot of it. Really don't. So I think personality disorders come out when women specifically aren't doing what they're fucking supposed to be doing in life. Because you know what? All the women that I know in my network that I see every fucking month, they all do what they're supposed to be doing. They're not on head meds. They don't use psychology terminology. I never hear any, like, we spend hours and hours each month talking, and none of them use that fucking language. None of them. And they're not crazy. They're responsible women. They're mothers. They're aunts. They're grandmothers. They're teachers. They're doing women's work. They're not trying to be men. So. Right? If you voice out your fading sense of security, she will love bomb you. Maybe offer intimate sessions as a way to keep the resources from walking away. I don't know what you guys are talking about. No idea. Oh, it has a word, intermittent reinforcement. Yes, manipulation in any relationship. People were just responsible. There would be none of that shit. Oh, Billy. Not a lot of words. Especially not words that people just made up yesterday. Especially not words that people in a field of demons, because the psychology field is full of fucking demons. Nella Wolf. The beasts. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Billy, you should do a stream about this stuff. Honestly, I'm caring a lot less about how the online world's going. So, I have some shit to take care of here. And I think I'm going to take another break from paying attention to the world. Because, I don't know. I just don't see a lot going on here. It's the same as the online shit. I'm trying though. Hold on, let me see. Let's see what the Facebook says. Oh, yes. One more thing I was going to share. Why the men in the UK get in trouble for their posts. Elon Musk is kicking ass, though. He cracks me up. I shared a screenshot of this on my Facebook today. And I asked a question. My question was, hold on, let me find it. My question is, does anyone know anyone who isn't racist or sexist that actually supports her? Kamala Harris. Because I'm curious if anybody does. Does anyone know anyone who supports this crazy bitch that isn't a racist or a sexist? So, nobody wants to talk about that, I guess. Because all the people I've ever seen in my community that support her are fucking racist or sexist, strangely. But I'm going to play this video. Yeah, look at this stupid shit.
On suspicion of improper use.
Is that big enough?
The time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
What?
127 communication.
Improper use of an electronics communication network. The fuck does that mean? Exactly.
That's okay. So you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question, something which later on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested.
going to be arrested, okay?
Right.
Take
And
you up to the police station.
right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
What the fuck? Do you know, I had a guy from the Joint Terrorism Task Force section of the FBI here come to my house with Texas A&M campus security fella because of my YouTube channels. They didn't come at me like that, though. And they shared lots of stories about calls that they had to respond to and how worried they are about doing that shit because people here have fucking guns. So, luckily, these gentlemen spent a couple weeks watching my channel before they came. They were still nervous about coming, actually. The guy from the FBI left his female partner at the office. He did not bring her to my house to talk to me. He made damn sure of that. Because they didn't disagree with anything I had said on my fucking channel. So, this crazy bitch, though, I would love for one of these crazy bitches to come to my house and talk to me about what I say online. That would be funny. This shit's bullshit, though. Super bullshit. So, I think that is it. Oh, by the way, hold on a minute. Last thing. So I talked to the boys, Johnny, about going to this conference. That this organization is putting on. So I have to share this because where is it? Johnny, I'm already an old lady. Okay, so this NOMAS, this nonprofit organization, right? They support Kamala Harris. Strange. So they have a conference that's going August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So 49th Annual Men and Masculinity Conference in San Antonio. No more .essayfatherhood.com. So I was trying to tell the boy, I was trying to talk up this conference because I'm like, Cam, Elias, you guys want to go to this conference with me? And Cam's like, what is it? I was like, it's a men's conference for like masculinity. He's like, oh yeah? I was like, yeah. And it's put on by I started reading stuff on the nonprofit. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Why is this not working? nomas.org. Oh, there we go. I started reading. Oh, we were eating, by the way. Yeah, Cam's like, no, I'm not going. I was like, why not? He's like, because they won't like it if I bring my gun. I was like, dude, we're in Texas. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. He's like, no. He's like, I don't even want to know what it smells like there. And then Elias is like, can we stop talking about this? I'm losing my appetite. And then I kind of trailed off into some really funny territory. But no, he doesn't want to go. So, enhancing men's lives. Yeah, it does sound gay. So, he's pretty sure there's nothing these people can teach him about masculinity. I'm just curious what people that have psychology degrees are involved in this shit. That's what I'm curious about. Undoing the isms. Pro-feminist. How come you can't click on this? Compadre, San Antonio. Psi Alpha Chapter, 100 Black Men, Workforce Solutions, Alamo, United Way of San Antonio, Our Lady of Lake University, the National Organization of Men's Sexism. We're delighted to invite you. No more, no mas, no more domestic violence. Focus on the intersection of oppression and domestic violence and all forms of abuse and coercive behaviors. See, I feel like they should be talking about women there. That's what I'm confused about. No, 21 Studios was good. I really enjoyed that place. Cam would go. Cam would go to that conference. And I would feel comfortable with Cam going to that conference because besides the PUAs, he would agree with a lot of what was said there. A lot. This one, not so much. Yeah, it's the Homo Studios. So, all right. Johnny, our stream coming up is probably the next time I'm going to stream. I also have invited Gray for a stream. He sent some stuff. He shared some stuff in the Discord from Germany. So, unless this rad mom gets back to me for conversation, I'll set that up too. I think she'd be fun to talk to. It's hard listening to her rants when she's sitting in by herself, but I still think she'd be fun to talk to.
Damn life. And if I have to monetize my, like push myself out there and monetize my skills that I have lit language all these years, then fine. Mac, I think I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. I'm surviving. He's a multimillionaire. She started aggressively gardening and calling it farming and is talking about getting chickens, PhD, or and I look, I guess. Oh, business costs, taxes and insurance out of their pockets. Right. That's what I'm saying. And I think that's bull.
Trying to remember the part. I'm talking about reading stuff. I don't know. Oh, they were talking about trans shit. So she supports men dressing like women, but obviously she doesn't. These crazy bitches, these feminists don't want men in women's spaces. So that seems to be where they draw the line. By the way, the 100+ planned protests appear to have been a false flag. I don't even know what a false flag is. Really. I don't know. I'm going to ignore crazy bitchery for a while, though. Till I recover. I woke up with a little stuffy nose this morning. I was like, man, my eyes are itchy. My nose is stuffy. I think it's the Lord telling me that I'm paying way too much attention to crazy bitches. And it's pointless, because if they really don't have the courage to talk to me, then I should listen to the women in my tribe and fuck them. I know they're suffering. I know they have problems. I mean, like this one, she clearly thinks she has something to share with the world. I mean, I believe her in that regard. So, I don't know. We just have way too many problems. And not enough people are telling these crazy bitches to shut the fuck up when they start being crazy. Yeah, that's something on Richard's last chat with the Jolly Heretic. They were talking about tribes and stuff, and I guess the genetic or survival benefits for, throwing crazy bitches off cliffs. Somebody in one of in the chat brought up how in small tribe it's easier to manage somebody that has mental illness. And yeah, I mean, if your tribe of people that you rely on for your survival is telling you to shut the fuck up or go the fuck away, like you have two options there. It is your choice. Keep talking about bullshit and see what happens, or take your bullshit elsewhere. So that's how women used to sort women out. And that's also how they still do today. In some tribes, anyway. All right, y'all. I'm done for a while. You guys have fun with the internet. Let me know, Rad Mom, if you'd like to have a conversation. If not, I don't really know. Kind of done trying to conversate with these fucking crazy bitches. And what happens to you guys will just happen to you guys. I've been warning people for a couple of years what's coming. I do know that a lot of these women don't want to be crazy bitches, and that feminism, being ideologically infected by it, is destroying women. I do know that. I'm pretty sure if this feminist right here didn't have feminist indoctrination, she probably wouldn't feel the need to smoke pot to be with her fucking family. Pretty sure that's true. She believes her feminist ideology in saying a whole bunch of fucking words that really don't matter in the big picture. And her contribution to society should be something academic when there's already way too much fucking noise out there. Like, her contribution to society should be showing off her fucking badass mothering skills. Meanwhile, just like that, what's her name? Oh, that other mother that's in the psychology, MBTI, she's a blah blah blah, this and that. Like, she's literally all of her fucking content is literally a contribution to some bullshit spell word world that doesn't fucking matter. Meanwhile, she's ignoring her child she has behind the seat while she's driving, while she talks into this device. And this was a baby, somebody in a car seat that she's already diagnosing with personality disorders that she quote unquote inherited from her father. Like, that's fucked up. That's how feminism is destroying motherhood. It's convinced these women that the world fucking gives a shit about what they can contribute to some failing systems. So we need to see more mothers being mothers and not neglecting their children and their husbands. Because you know what, Rad Mom? Your husband looks very fucking unhealthy. I don't know how long you all have been married, but if you have a 7-year-old son, pretty sure it's longer than 7 years. What's the deal with that? Why is your husband so unhealthy? Is he depressed? So you get tired of hearing you fucking run your mouth about women's rights and protests and shit? You know, feminism is oppressive to men, right? You know, it's abusive. It's narcissistically abusive to men. Feminism ideology and feminists. So, I don't know. If I was you, Rad Mom, your channel's called Rad Mom. Why don't you show the world how fucking rad you are as a mom? That would be better. And maybe Rad Wife. Maybe show the world how you help your husband become healthier. Yeah, and healthier yourself. That would be way more fucking beneficial and useful to society. So, all right, I'm done complaining. And I'm done dealing with these crazy bitches. I'm just tired of fucking cowards. Cowards make me want to vomit. So. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, we're the same age. I mean, I think I'm a year older than her. So we grew up in the same era. We watched the same movies, same age. Like, we should have so much in common. Like, so much. Besides, her parents being secret society Mensa people. Like, is that academics? Like, she complains about her parents and how she was parented. So, be nice to hear about that and what she's doing to change that. So that's where the good shit is. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, Rusty, your health declined when you were dealing with a fucking crazy bitch feminist. Yep. All right, I'm done. Y'all have fun. Johnny, look forward to our stream. If that's still good for you, I think it's next Wednesday, right? And then if whenever Gray's ready for a stream, we'll stream. Until then, y'all enjoy yourself. Oh, and if Rad Mom wants to stream, we'll have a conversation. Oh, Friday? Maybe. This Friday? No. I think I have it for next Wednesday. We can do next Friday, though. I think it'll be a good stream. Yeah, me and Johnny were talking about where we turned to when our dads were no longer with us. So, for guidance. Okay, yeah, next Friday then. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it next Friday. You're welcome, Rusty. Thank you guys for being in the chat. JR, always good to see you. Thanks for being there. Tom. Billy. With all your demonic psychology terminology. Come on, you gotta help sort that shit out. Hemi 4-speed. Good to see you. Thanks for contributing. I never ever had a problem with you. You used to come to the channel and contribute a lot. And then Brandon Trueblood went through this. He got sucked into the anti-GM smear campaign. Started being tyrannical when it came to people coming to my channel. And then you disappeared for a while. And then I saw you in the chat saying the only reason you were in my chat was to keep tabs on the guys who showed up on my channel. And I thought that was really fucking shitty. So I know a lot of people got upset when I removed your wrench, but you didn't come around. And then after you said that, I was like, that's fucking weird. That's not contributing to the discussion. But you always had good things to contribute to the discussion, Hemi. So, remember what Kush says about the number one sin? You know what? I wonder if it's because I trust you the most when dealing with crazy bitches. Like, I wonder if that's the case. Like, you can see him from a mile away. So, I wouldn't call that a simp, though. I would call that a trusted individual. So, maybe Hermit was right with what Hermit was saying. I'm starting to believe that a little bit these days. Yeah. No, it's just he's also infected with the same bullshit that keeps going around. So, whatever. The crazy bitch infected will do what the crazy bitches want them to do. So, that's how I kind of look at everybody's fucking behavior. Crazy bitches want to get men fighting each other. They're going to do that. They're going to use men to do that. If they're going to abuse men, so then they reactively abuse other men, they do that too. It's like pool, you know, when you hit that cue ball and you go with all the different balls and they do that. That's how crazy bitch infection works. So I know JR can see it. So men, if you ever want some feedback on whether you're infected or not, just ask JR. He'll tell you. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. Johnny, see you next Friday, okay?